So my song on the album, Send Us Out, is almost entirely derived from a prayer that's at the end of the Anglican Common Worship Communion service. In fact, that line, "Send us out in the power of your Spirit," is lifted straight from the liturgy. And I just love praying that prayer. You know, it's such a positive and a hopeful thing to say at the end of our time. And it really reminds us as well that, you know, sometimes we can think, well, we've worshipped together and we've spent an hour together and now it's over. But actually, the liturgy, the original prayer, and then the song, hopefully they're saying, well, no, this is only just beginning. You know, we're going out into the week and we're going to carry on worshipping God through the whole of our lives. So I brought my song to what we call a song club day, where a bunch of the writers who are involved with Resound gather together. We play each other our songs and chip in with different ideas. And I'd worked quite hard on the song before. I'd changed several bits and tweaked the words and so on. And I brought it, and essentially I had the verse, and then what is now the bridge was my chorus, although with a completely different melody. It was quite reflective almost. We're laying down our lives, living sacrifice. And I played it to the group, and they all said, no. You know, it's got to be. Come on, we're going for this. We're send us out, God. So why don't you just sing "Send Us Out" again and again? And initially I just thought this is a ridiculous idea, and we tried it, and everybody joined in with harmonies, and someone started, playing a rhythm on cajon, and it just took off. And just singing "Send us out, send us out, send us," and then we added a little bit more content back in, so it wasn't simply those three words. But that is where the chorus came from, and what I had as the chorus then became a bridge section. I didn't want to lose it because I thought it was saying something important. But after I'd got over the initial shock, I was quite prepared to admit, actually what I had was not chorus really, and what we've come up with together really is.
For your glory, let all we do be praise to you. Send us out for your glory. Send us out for your glory.
Yes, in some ways the sending out is the most important bit when we gather, because Sunday is the sort of little snapshot of what it is to have a life of worship and a life of faith, and but sending us out to how we're going to live and work to the praise and glory of God, as that old liturgical prayer says. It's such an important thing, and a song which does that and reminds us, and yet has a kind of joyfulness to it, that says, come on, we're going our separate ways, but we're doing this together. That's going to be so helpful in worship.
It's always good to have an earworm in the mix, isn't it? And I think I've really found since I first heard that song that it's kind of been buzzing around in my brain somewhere.
Your glory, we're laying down our lives, a living sacrifice. We're living for your glory.
So there's only, I guess, really one possible place for this particular song to go in the service, and that is right at the end. But I suppose it's in conjunction with a real focus and a real desire from the congregation that yes, our worship does not stop now, that we don't kind of forget about God's plan for our lives and all of those things as we go off to coffee, but actually we're going with Him, His life, His Spirit in us, through the rest of our Sunday, into Monday morning, into the rest of our week. I think it's perhaps alongside some prayers of kind of commissioning ourselves to go out, but it's at the end of the service. That's where that song is going to work.
Send us out for your glory. Send us out for your glory. Send us out for your glory.
There's basically three riffs on this. The intro riff has this rhythm. If you notice on most of the right hands, these chords are pushed. Like the second one is actually straight to go with the flute rhythm, and then push. So each time you get to that A chord, you play it straight. The verses, nothing. Just played a big chord on the beginning of the verse. Just let that ring out for sort of 4 bars. So the chorus riff is a little bit fuller, but similar to the intro rhythm, and with the sustain pedal. And last bar. That's that. The second verse layout, next chorus is the same. So this is the bridge. We start with this pattern. Second half, I'm going to bring in the left hand and play, move the left hand down an octave and play unison with what the bass is playing, which goes like this. Which sounds really nice with the bass, but if that's tricky, you can just stick with the right hand.
So the main part, the chorus part, is this. So that's the bass drum on 1, 2, 3 and 4, and snare on 2 and 4. So the verse part is this, so it's 4 and 4 with bass drum and floor tom. So and with the high tom playing on the A of 3 and the and of 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and. And then we have the bridge part, which is this. And then that's a snare on 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the bass drum on and of 3 and 4. And then we add in the hi-hats for the second part. So. And yeah, that's it.
You have to get one of these.
Ooh, let's just zoom in. Woo. Gotcha. What thickness is that?
It's thicker the better. It's actually really thin, but don't tell them that. Okay. And I play it like this. So the intro was. Like that. And the verse is quite sort of simple. That sort of thing. And then the chorus was just 8s sort of driving. Etc. And then the bridge was use scales, very important scales. So learn your scales, and it went. Lots of lovely scales.